Alrighty.
Okay, so I'm gonna start it.
Thumbs up.
I'm 90% sure.
Brainojack, thank you for the donation. Oh my gosh, $5 from Brainojack. What a badass.
Nice.
Alrighty, guys. So, in the bottom left-hand corner, spawning as the Yellow Terran, representing my very own team, Team Supply Block, we have AbstractDaddy, aka Diarrhea Terran.
And in the top corner, we've got the White Protoss AweAwe222, also known as II, from the team No1CareThat. Team featuring legends such as Telecom and JorDaddy. So much talent.
The other day, JorDaddy PM me, he goes, Doc, nerd, die. And then he goes, I am best, me Bisu, no one beat me. I'm just like, okay, JorDaddy, cool. Cool story, bro.
He adds a very distinct flavor to the CPL scene.
He's great though. I don't understand. You know, like there's some people who are like just dicks and nobody likes. But however, whatever he does, the way he does it is hilarious. It's so funny and so entertaining to have JorDaddy around. I actually love him. He's great. But it's just like, but like imagine somebody else, like some random person, just constantly BMing you for no reason. You'd just be like pissed off, right? So I'm curious. How do I master this skill of just talking shit to people all the time and then making them like me anyways? That's serious talent.
It's funny.
I mean, it's
Yeah,
crazy,
true.
right?
It is. It's kind of weird when you think about it. Like, if I started just going into people's Twitch chats and saying they were gay, like, people would not receive that very well.
JorDaddy does it all the time, and it's like everyone's like, "Oh, I love that guy." Die, nerd. Oh man, it's so funny. I think it's the grammar. I think it's your grammar's too good.
Whose?
Yours. I think the terrible grammar from JorDaddy is what makes it so charming. It's like adorable, you know. It's like a baby trying to talk. Like its first words are "die" and "get cancer." Like, like if you see me like, "Oh, he said die."
So, we already have a double barracks from AbstractDaddy.
Yep. So, this is a not super common, but not terribly uncommon type of build. It's going to be aggressive, but this isn't like BBS where it's 2 barracks before a supply depot. So this isn't going to be like an all-in, like super crazy, like, oh man, this didn't kill the Zerg, might as well GG type of push. This type of push does need to do a bit of damage, otherwise you're going to be behind, but you're not dead again. And so I think AbstractDaddy knows what he needs to do, man. He needs to get over there and pew-pew some drones with his Marine boys.
And what was the exact build from II? I missed it.
Looks like a no, not a 9 full speed. Looks like a 12 full.
Okay, 12 full.
Yeah, with speed first going into a 2 base layer. So this is kind of an interesting build here. I think part of the issue is that normally you want to deny the vision of you going for 2 hatch. Which is why a lot of times you go 2 hatch, you go 9 full speed into it, so that way you have speedlings. They come out, they kill the first scouting SCV, and then you've got speedling after that to deny any additional scouting. So it is a little funky. I think it's especially funky since we're getting now a creep colony here at the front of the base. That might have been because he saw. Let's see if AweAwe or II knows.
You know, I went into his vision, but the Ling went right up to that supply depot.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it saw the like if you look at his vision, it's like just barely out of vision. I think that.
But I don't know how he could have not seen those because the Ling was right there, and on match point you see a little bit beyond the wall. So I think he saw at least 4 or 5 Lings. Maybe.
Oh, you mean the Marines? Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
definitely
the
saw
marine
some
count would have
Marines.
given it away. I just was, I meant like, I don't think he saw the second barracks. But yeah, like
Well,
when
yeah,
you run up there and you see this many Marines, it's like, okay, maybe we
It's
should start
implied.
making units. Yeah. But I mean, I would have rather, I don't know. I just think it was such a fast sunken colony. And when you're going two base layer or 2-hatch layer, I think it's kind of weird to get it that early, especially when you have Zergling speed. Like, you know that if they're gonna push without a medic, you're gonna be able to kill that with speedlings. So what you do, or at least in my opinion, and I think AweAwe is actually probably better than me, but I would have liked to just see a Ling sitting out there waiting to watch the push out, as opposed to throwing these down super early, because you can use those minerals earlier on for more drones, for whatever, and then throw those Sunkens down a little bit later in your build order when you see the Terrans starting to get into a position where they'd like to move out.
Yeah, personally, I like what AI is doing. He's being very smart because he has Overlord vision. He sees exactly when the push is moving out, and he waited to morph the creep colonies until he's going to see this push. So soon he will be morphing them into Sunkens.
Yeah.
And the thing is, relying on pure speedling here is so risky. You got, I think, the 3 creep colonies is a very it's a very appropriate reaction, I think, and getting some creep colonies at the front. I think for what's coming, then he can get some mutas out to defend, but right off the top, I like this decision for him to go for maybe a couple more seconds.
I am underwhelmed. So the reason why I'm underwhelmed is that this is, I think, too many creep colonies. These mutas 100% are going to be vital in taking out this tank. And if this tank doesn't die, then it's a problem, right? And so if you look at AweAwe's gas right now, he could have had 5 more mutalisks right now if he just stuck with, 3 Sunkens. And those 5 mutalisks would have been able to make this ball of mutalisks able to 2-shot this tank very quickly. Either way, these mutalisks doing a good job because there weren't enough Marines that survived the initial attack from these sunken colonies, and there were a couple fire bats put in here, so that is again going to be less Marines with the ball. So these mutalisks actually doing a pretty darn good job cleaning this up with very little losses taken.
Yeah, now AbstractDaddy is in kind of a tough spot because his natural is delayed so much that now he's going to have to defend against the mutas, and that's just going to put his natural behind even more. He doesn't even have the CC started, so that's rough for him. And now he's got a factory, and he's just getting his missile turrets up now, and I think he's going to lose this tank, which is going to be big. Guys going to pounce on this. There's no medics, so these Marines are going to peter out, and we see GG. I think with the Sunkens, it's a lot easier to under prepare and than to die from the consequences of over preparing. So yeah, just my 2 cents on that.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Especially in a situation where he wasn't entirely sure that what he was going up against, it wasn't a bad idea. Overall, I think it's a pretty well-played game by AweAwe. Very interesting decision to go for 2-hatch muta. It's not a build that we see too commonly anymore, but it is a pretty nice build. It's very strong, especially if you get some damage done early with Lings and you eliminate some of the Marine count initially. So I kind of liked it overall. Pretty well played. And, he controlled his mutalisks well early on to lower the number of Marines, and then just was able to aim move on top of the army.
Nice. So I think, like we said, this B team level, these players are a lot closer. So
That was actually A-team.
oh, that makes sense. I'm like, these players are pretty good for B team.
Yeah. AweAwe and AbstractDaddy are both A-teamers.
So did you get moved up to A team yet?
No. I definitely feel like I should be, and I'm not trying to be immodest about it or anything like that, but a lot of my non-mirror matchups have just been a bit too easy, I think. And I feel kind of bad being placed up against people who are a bit weaker than than I am.
That one Protoss from Team Beast, just couldn't make it happen. Well, the thing is, I was super tilted because the first week you just basically, like the first 3 weeks, I feel like I improved so much in PvZ, just grinding out macro games. Then you 9-pool, which Beast did not, or what do you know? You like 7-pool or something.
I 5-pulled you, I believe. I played really dirty.
On terrible maps, and Beast didn't prep us for that at all, and I was so tilted after that. In the second week, I think it was maybe a little bit closer, or something, but still.
It was either a 5-pull or a 9-pull speed, and I just remember being like, "This is so dirty."
on terrible maps too, like it was Match Point and Tau, which are the 2 worst maps for PvZ in the history of the world.
Yeah. Well, I think so. Here's my So I actually hate Tau Cross ZVP, and I know that it's quite Zerg favored, but I hate the fact that you can get pylon. You can put a pylon in between my main and my natural. So I always play that map really aggressively, opener wise, because I've died so many times to just a pylon stuck in between my 2 bases and then like cannons behind it. So I always fucking roll over people with 9 pools specifically on that map.
Yeah, I mean, match. Like, I think honestly, being good. Once you're good, once you get some general knowledge, then how bad you are in certain maps, it kind of fades away. There'll still be something that's difficult. But ultimately, playing on maps it's not that much of a decider, Like match point's pretty close. I don't like it on match point, but it's still pretty good for PvZ. But Tau Cross is, I think, one of the only maps in the pool that I think is very decidedly bad for Protoss.
Oh yeah, it's very difficult for you guys to secure a 3rd base on Tau Cross because of how wide open all of the bases are. Unless you like Ninja Natural, but even then it's not a great map because doing that is obviously a huge investment and kind of bad. So, but yeah, I know what you mean. Although I do wish that was totally true, because I one day would like to be so good that I could beat anyone on Lost Temple, but unfortunately that map is just way too broken.
Route is saying he likes Tau and Match Point. Like, who are you, Protoss? Like, I can't believe you like those maps as a Protoss, especially Tau.
Rhoda's he likes a lot of weird maps though, because remember, this is the guy who ran the RWML, the Rhoda Weird Map League, and that included maps such as like Sparkle and like Chrysalis and all kinds of ridiculous shit.
Katrina.
Alrighty. Anyways, so who are we gonna be seeing in this coming series? Is still gonna be a Supply Block versus No1CareThat, correct?
It's still AweAwe versus.
Oh right, okay. I'm just gonna get rid of the scoreboard because we're getting a little funky with the maps. Oh, what's going on here? Okay.
All right, in the top corner of Tau Cross, we've got the Orange Terran, AbstractDaddy. Some of you may know him from Season 1 as Diarrhea Terran, potentially.
Oh my gosh. It's just that's such a shocking name to hear.
Yeah, he was pretty good if I remember correctly in CPL.
Alrighty, well, in the top right-hand corner, spawning as the Teal Zerg, we have up 1 game so far in the series. AweAwe222, one of those.
Owie.
We have Owie and Daddy.
So like whenever adults try to pronounce words that end in Y, it always feels like silly and daddy. I always cringe like.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. It's just so infantilized, the way that we pronounce those, and the way that we associate words that end with Y. Oh, that's pretty great. Anyway, so I was talking to my mommy over the week. That's so awkward. You're so right. Oh, that feels disgusting, dude. Oh, that's so nasty. That makes me uncomfortable just to say out loud. Like, holy crap.
I know whenever people use those, and I always have like a visceral reaction on my face, like.
Yeah, I don't blame you. But alrighty, so we do have AweAwe's drone now coming across the map. Gonna scout AbstractDaddy first, which is pretty great. Generally speaking, you like to have that happen, especially in the new world where people are going gas off one base as Terran. It's what? Oh, he changed directions. Oh no, he did cross scan or cross scout first, so that's a little unfortunate. But overall, I mean, it's not going to make much of a difference because we do have AbstractDaddy playing 100% standard barracks expand. So drone is going to miss too much.
Yeah, I think scouting cross spawns is something that's gained a lot of traction. Just because you can scout for the potential proxied buildings, and it doesn't really delay your scout that much. I guess if he was wrong, it will delay it some. I mean, for Zerg it doesn't because you got the Overlord. So I think it's wise for Zergs to do that on 4-player maps. Not something that's absolutely vital, but it's a nice little play, and he will get
That was
extracted
interesting.
luck.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that was about. I wasn't paying attention to the scouting drone. I'm wondering if he just did that to fully heal his drone to potentially try to get it out of the Terran main. What I did think was kind of hilarious though is that AbstractDaddy at first thought that the Zerg was spawned in the bottom right hand corner, so he tried to supply block where the natural expansion would be, or supply depot block it. But then his SCV got to the top right, and so he had to cancel it. But I thought it was clever. I was like, oh man.
I think I don't know if this is exactly true for Brood War, but using the E beta block is good because it gives you the most hit points
Yes.
quickest.
Yes, that is true. So, and it's cheaper than is it cheaper though? I know in Brood War is it
125.
one? Yeah.
Could
I
be
think you're
totally
right.
wrong.
But yeah, you got a ton more hit points. And eBay's got like 1,500 or 2,000 or something like that. Supply Depot's got 500.
And you get it faster too, like it builds faster.
Oh yeah,
Or you get more hit points
per second. Alrighty, but AbstractDaddy looking to be playing a little bit more standard this time around. Getting his academy, his second barracks. Gonna be going +1 5 racks most likely. That's just kind of what it looks like. Something that I don't see lower level Terrans do is stick the supply depot right here on CB. I think it's actually super fantastic because with this supply depot here, you really just don't need to have a bunker. Even versus like really heavy wing attacks, the supply depot here causes enough pathing issues for the Zerglings because there's only a tiny little spot here and here where they can get surface area on your bio army. That you really just don't ever need a bunker, not until there's a potential for a lurker bust or something like that. So
Yeah, and it kind of acts as like Protoss players will use a forward pylon for this, but it makes microing the links super hard as well because you got that big supply block there as a target to attack. So if you aim move, they'll just aggro right onto the supply depot instead of targeting the firing marines.
oh yeah, and melee units in this game are so stupid. They're just like the dumbest. Like I always complain about Zerglings, but like my Ultralists, oh my god,
Oh, Ultralists.
they're the literal
I was
worst.
watching that game too.
Oh, Ultralists are the dumbest. Alrighty, so we've got some pretty standard stuff coming up here now. I like the positioning of the macro hatch here by AweAwe. This is kind of interesting little tidbit as well that some lower level Terrans from like the B teams, for example, might not notice. Is that when you position your third base kind of further down in the middle between your two hatches, it gives you 3 separate positions that a Terran needs to scan to be able to scout your tech. So doing this makes it so a Terran has to use tons of scans, and especially if you're going lurker, using up those scans is incredibly important. Alright.
You know, I wonder if going for the third and the far expansion style might be a little bit better if he's going lurker anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree. I think that this is a bad position to put a third base. Sometimes I end up taking this position a lot because I just forget to send a drone in time. There is also an SCV up at this base, so I mean, there's the potential that he did send a drone down there and we just didn't notice, and then it just didn't get, like, it saw the SCV and I was like, okay, well, never mind. But I mean, this is not a terrible spot, at least initially, to defend versus Bio. You just put the lurkers a little further back than you would versus a high ground ramp, and they still, Bio has a hard time walking down that ramp in a way that doesn't allow them to just get totally destroyed by 3 lurkers. So it's not like a game-ending mistake to take that base. It's just not ideal.
Yeah, and with the lurkers up, it looks like AweAwe, you will be able to defend this, although some lings did slip across. But
Ooh,
like,
come on! And AbstractDaddy snipes the lurker. That is fantastic. But we do have lings now coming here to support these last 2 lurkers here, so it should be fine. AweAwe should be able to secure this base with little issues, so long as he pulls the lurkers a little bit further back so they're not so easily sniped from the high ground.
And now he has that 3rd gas secured, which, as you know, is so critical for the Zerg army.
Oh yeah, extremely critical.
Defilers.
Gas 3 pays for defilers, gas 4 pays for ultras, baby.
You know, I think with circuit breakers, it works out pretty well for Zerg because it's much better for Zerg in PvZ. But I think in ZVT, or wait, am I thinking it? Yeah, it's better for Zerg, and I think in ZVT, circuit breakers maybe a bit better for Terran, because I don't know. I'm stepping in some water that don't have a ton of experience here, but the 3rd can be a bit more difficult to hold unless you have some good lurkers. Like, if you don't get the lurkers up there in time, you can have some issues holding the 3rd, because the 3rd that's easy to defend is mineral only.
Oh no, I would disagree.
You disagree?
The mineral only is actually difficult to defend in comparison to the other bases because your opponent attacks from high ground.
Right, but what if you get lurkers on the ramp? Isn't that pretty easy?
Oh, up here? Yeah, I mean, you could do that. Even still, you want a small ramp. So, like, the mineral only, all the attack angles are pretty wide. There's always, like, a wide attack angle for Bio to spread out and things like that. So, you always want these small chokes for lurker defenses. Oh my god! What a massacre! AbstractDaddy getting totally destroyed in, I would say, like, unjust fashion.
Oh my goodness.
AweAwe's lurkers had no right to be that effective versus that army. I'm really not sure how he managed to do that. But that is massive damage right there. That is a huge deal. And now we have AweAwe starting to head towards Hive Tech here. But yeah, that's pretty great for AweAwe here. Tons and tons of damage for basically very little losses on the Zerg part here. AbstractDaddy, though, looking to start securing his 3rd base coming up here in a minute. Starting to secure his base from any kind of lurker bust by having these 2 bunkers here. But lurkers coming from a pretty interesting angle here and going to be getting on top of this army pretty quickly. This, I think, is unadvisable, personally. I would not take this attack. Or I would not do this attack here.
Yeah, if I was him, I would just leave right now. He's going to lose a couple lurkers unnecessarily, I think.
I mean, at that point, it's you. Even if he unburrows them, I think they die. But yeah, I wouldn't have advised that attack at all. He got a little bit of bio for the cost of some lurkers, and I think at this point in the game, it's really the tanks that are going to be much more important.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I think the lurkers got a good set of spines off first, and maybe could have unburrowed there a tad quicker. But anyways, he lost a few lurkers there, not the end of the world though, and the critical thing is he's on 3 bases with the 3rd gas, so he's on a pretty good footing. Now the question is, what is he going to go from here? Is he going to continue to mass up lurkers, or is he going to go into that defiler tech pretty quickly?
I mean, so at this point in the game, you have to have defilers. This is actually quite late as far as defiler timing goes.
Oh my goodness!
Oh no! What is happening? AbstractDaddy is constantly getting these armies just taken out by lurkers in just the most disgustingly efficient fashion. AweAwe is just getting, oh my god, like infinite value out of these lurkers. I mean, look, we got 6 kills on one, none on the other one. That guy's lazy. You got 13 kill lurker over here. Guy with that full health. Like, this dude's freaking an MVP here. But yeah, like, this is going terrible for AbstractDaddy. Honestly,
really control.
Oh my gosh.
He's gonna lose this again. He's gonna lose everything here.
Yeah.
Irradiate though, gonna go off in lurkers, so he will lose that.
Will he though? Oh, okay, there we go. This one Marine, man, he gave his life for that lurker. He's just like, I'm sticking it out. There's one lurker here. I'm taking it for the team. These 2 Marines, though, lining up specifically just help this lurker out. Gosh. This biocontrol from AbstractDaddy has just been very poor. He's been in a position to potentially kill his opponent a number of times. Like, with that many tanks and that amount of bio and the vessels and everything out on the field and no defilers, he could have very easily sieged up this natural expansion and just killed his units, or killed his opponent. But AweAwe has gotten the most ridiculously efficient lurker kills I have literally ever seen. I've never had a game where my lurkers were that cost efficient unless I did something crazy like a you know, a hold position lurker or something like that. But man, AbstractDaddy must be just kicking himself right now.
Yeah, I think he was honestly in a position to really lock down the third, and that's one of the things which taking that third does put you at a disadvantage, because that now the Terran can siege up and attack right into that base, can shell those drones and the lurkers, as opposed to if you had a third up a ramp, and then you'd be pretty secured. And I just so fortunate that he got such massive kills there.
Yeah, this base is kind of annoying because when you are on the high ground, tanks can't siege up your mineral lines or anything like that, or really hit anything until they've pushed up the ramp. But on this base, you're right. As a matter of fact, tanks right here can actually hit the hatchery, so it becomes very difficult to defend if you don't have defilers to be able to push your lurkers up the ramp and then kill the units up there.
Exactly, and I mean, AbstractDaddy, like, it just goes to show his macro has been pretty good throughout this, even though he's taken so many bad fights. This is still a decently sized force from AbstractDaddy, and it might be. It's so ironic here that he lost so much there, but AbstractDaddy might be pushing in with a pretty big force here, and this third might be in a little bit of trouble. We'll see. Oh, never mind.
But the ultras are
What
out,
am I
man.
talking about? What am
Yeah, I was actually thinking the same thing. I was like, how is he gonna stop us? He's only got lings. He's got like a couple of lurkers. Where's all the gas going? Then, oh yeah, okay, just a crap load of ultras come out of nowhere and just absolutely erase out AbstractDaddy from this series, man. So AweAwe taking a quick 2-0, man. Really showing that he's got the chops to play in A team. So very well played by AweAwe. AbstractDaddy just getting really unlucky, man. If he had all those units that just got summarily murdered by these like ungodly efficient lurkers, he probably would have been in a much better position.
Yeah, I think he did pretty well up until that point. His macro was pretty good and had a pretty good army composition and good timings in general, but was just tough for him